part 2 of the Umbreon run. So, we're going to get the elephant in the room out of the way right off the rip. How I saved the run. So, in completely botching and not saving, we had to do the entire thing over again. So, I made the executive decision to use an encounter code to spawn in a level 100 Arceus. Now, this code was the one where you do the 493 Master Balls and the 100 Ultra Balls. Whatever the Master Ball total is that's in your bag, that's what Mon is going to spawn. The Ultra Balls in your bag will tell you what level that Mon's going to spawn at. So, we end up catching the Arceus. We slap the entirety of the region like you're gonna slap like now. I've been watching too many Davey 504 videos. Anyway, we slap all the gym leaders right to the moon and back, and then we use the same encounter code to spawn level 100 Blissies. And then we switch train to Umbreon off of that to get ourselves back to around the level we were at when the game crashed. Quick editor note, I forgot to mention I also used the 16 times experience code to speed things up. I'm a goof. I think we were at like 68, but I think I grinded up to 70 just because that at the time that's what level I thought we were at. So here's the Ariana fight and the rest of the run. Alright, so here's the Ariana fight in its entirety. So pretty much Light just wrecks her, because we end up getting back when we cut through the whole double team battles thing that we had to do. We ended up getting to like level 74. As you see, we're at level 75 now. We pretty much, outside of this Honchkrow here, we pretty much roll Ariana. And here we get the TM for Poison Jab as well. But now, we take out Archer and a Grunt. Meet up with Riley. He gives us a Riolu Egg, which we're just going to eat into the box later. And now it's on to Jasmine. So Jasmine here was a pretty easy fight, given that they were, you know, again, horrendously over-leveled. As you see, we're at 75, she leads a 37, so feint attack with neutral damage onto the Metang, because, you know, the whole half psychic type thing. So, surprisingly doesn't kill. We're going to eat up an Earthquake like I eat donuts, I do believe. This doesn't do a lot of damage. Like, shit. I ate that Earthquake like I eat pizza. Like, I'm not, motherfucker. So, she ends up healing here. We're going to feint attack again. She's going to bring her down, because I do believe a high roll knocks out. But either way, it ends up being a 2-shot on the Metang. So, Metang goes down. Easy clap. Get up out of here. We got better things to worry about. So next up is the Fortress. So, this thing's a pain in the butt. Because here I'm thinking, oh god, don't explode. That is what I'm thinking in this instance. So we end up hitting feint attack here. By the way, when you hear these like commentaries that I'm doing over like the battles and stuff, I actually do it live off the cuff. Like, I don't have any of this scripted. Like, I just kind of do it. So he hits the bug bite, we eat it up like I'm eating some cotton candy, and then we hit the feint attack again. So the whole steel and bug thing, not really great. So Fortress is beating us up a little bit, which is most unfortunate. Excuse me. And it decides to blow itself up when it only has 1 HP. And we're just like, oh god. Well, I was like, alright, cool. We had enough defense to live that. Alright, cool. But now she brings out the big gun in the Steelix. Your boy only has physical moves on the set. So, we end up moonlighting here to get some health back. Thinking, okay, We should probably heal here. This thing's gonna hit me hard. Or are we gonna... Or is this earthquake gonna be like bacon at breakfast time for me? We shall see. It was bacon at breakfast time. So we end up hitting the fan attack, because I want to see how much damage we end up doing. Because, as we all know, Steelix has massive defense. But that was a crit, which worked out, but still only took him down past just about half. So we feint attack again. Because I do believe this should put her into heal range, or at least with the citrus berry, which, as you see, pops right there. So we know from this juncture that a high roll will probably get us down to about a third left. But there's that defense drop. That's not fun. So we're gonna feint attack. I don't think the defense drop really, like, plays into the battle too much. See, that was a low roll there. Because on the high roll earlier, it took him down to 2/3. So, either way, it's gonna be a 4-hit KO. Even with healing. So from full health, she's a 4-hit KO. But might as well get some health back while we're here. Get some healing done and whatnot. Because this Steelix, he eats up hits. Let's face it here. That boy eats some hits up. Like, we thought we were a physical attack sponge. Like, bruh. Like, bruh. He eats our hits like breakfast. So, comes a battle of attrition at this point. Bruh. Car alarm, dog. Anyway, feint attack. Brings him down to a sliver. He Iron Tails us here. Surprisingly hitting it, because, you know, Iron Tail has shit for accuracy. And we end up hitting here to get the knockout there. Now, from the rest, it should be pretty... But now, she sends out another defensive sponge in a Skarmory, who ends up protecting here. So, and it doesn't help that I can't... Because I don't think I've put Toxic on the set yet. Because I know I did for the Elite Four battles, which you'll see later, but we can't utilize Toxic here because, you know, Toxic Stall Umbreon is kind of a thing. So we end up not doing a lot onto the Skarmory. She Toxics us. Oh man, we are in quite the pickle now. Because, you know, we don't do a lot of damage back. But we end up tanking, because she's using my strat, chat. She's using my strat of Poison Stall. So, we're gonna have to full restore here. Because I do believe I actually have one. Oh, I actually had a Petra Berry here. Because I was like, what do I have for Poison Heal? What do I have for Poison Heal? So we end up Petra Berrying. She is gonna use Fly here. So, that's going to give me a turn to Moonlight back up. But keep in mind, we do have the defense drop that the Steelix caused going on here. So this may or may not hurt. Just a little bit. Like, bonk. Then, okay, it didn't hurt as much as we thought it was going to. Even with the defense drop. So, we're free to feint attack. We get, I think that had to have been a high roll. But she ends up toxicking us again. Like, fuck out of here with that shit, bro. I'm trying to not be poisoned and win here. So, Skarmory's gonna go for the Toxic Stall again. Thinking, oh, I'm gonna use your strat against you, bruh. Who's the real king of toxic stalling out here, boy? So anyway, we end up feint attacking in this instance. That had to have low rolled, because that didn't do shit for damage. But here, I think, if I recall, we are going to Moonlight... Oh no, we're going to Petra Berry again. And get the poison off. Because we are going to be able to eat up the fly. Unless it crits, then we're fucked. But we eat up the fly as I thought we were. And it used Protect, which blocks the feint attack. Now he's just trying to stall me out so it lives longer and that can give Jasmine the advantage later. But this feint attack is a crit and takes it out. So now we're going to hit level 76. And then we have the Magneton. Now, I'm thankful this wasn't a Magnezone, but still, Steel types give me a lot of trouble in this run. Not as much as, fighting types do, but Steel types do give me a bit of a headache throughout this run here. So she ends up using Magnet Rise. I'm like, well, that's nice. I don't have a ground type move, so it doesn't affect me. But here I'm thinking it was going to outspeed me, so I used Payback to get a crit, and then he Thunderbolts me, which I do believe we're going to eat that. No, not eat it up as much as I thought we were, but we're going to pay back again. Thinking, okay, we got great damage off the first one, we should be alright. So, the Magneton goes down, and then it's on to her last Mon, which is a Bronzong. Now, our attacks are going to be neutral due to the fact that Bronzong is half psychic. So, given that we're immune, rather, to one of its stabs, we are actually in really good position here. So, if for some reason, I think I might have run out of feint attacks at that point, but we're going to use Payback here. It's going to do massive damage, and then we napping. And I've learned, I think this is where I learned the hard way, Synchronize does not work with sleep. It's only burn, poison, and paralyze. So, oof. And then she's going to start using Gyro Balls here. I do believe I have an Awakening or some form of Berry, but either way, we're going to heal. Oh! Apparently I didn't have a healing item, but first turn Wake Up. Let's get it. And then the Bronzong is down, netting us our 6th gym badge in the Johto region. So I'm gonna just kill this shiny right quick. He called me fat. So after murdering a red Gyarados, and then we go and slap some rockets quick. I figured I'd include this battle because it's the double battle with Lance. So this gives me time to talk about a few things. So in doing this run, I've looked at seeing it in so many different ways. I probably could have beaten this at a lower level than I actually did, which you'll see where we get to that later on. But we end up we're just smacking these rockets up like they're nothing. Let's face it, we're battling with the Pokemon champion. Like, this dude better not suck, right? Anyway, I will say that I did have a lot of fun with this, and I'm thinking about doing a Espeon run of Storm Silver. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Because I like doing like the side-by-side comparison of Espeon and Umbreon because, they are paired together. So, Lance ends up going down like a bitch. You figured he would have, sent out his Dragonite that he used to bop the rockets with earlier, but doesn't. So, end up having to do some heal and goes, but we end up getting the victory here. And now it's on to fight Price and get our 7th gym badge. Price, we pretty much rolled him. There's not much to talk about when it comes to price, I feel. But here he sends out the Abomasnow because he's going to get the hail up right away. As you know, snow warning's a thing. Thank you for the licks, honey. Anyways, I do believe... I don't know if Abomasnow outspeeds, which he doesn't, because, you know, I'm horrendously over-leveled. Nothing should be outspeeding me right now, especially when you're almost 40 levels above. So, the Abomasnow lives the Feint Attack, hits the no accuracy check Blizzard because of hail, causes the big ouch, but not as much ouch as you think it would. But now he's going to Hyper Potion here. Now, a crit I know for sure kills from this range. What I should have done there was actually use Payback, because technically that allows me to move second because the heal always has priority. So, either way, we take the hail damage, and we are going to pick up the kill here off of a Feint Attack more than likely. There we go, there's the Feint Attack, and it's going to kill from this range. So, the Abomasnow is going to go down. I wasn't too worried about that one. And I do believe he has a Frostlass in here too, as we hit level 80, but otherwise, price wasn't too bad. Like, I don't have too much of issues with... Because pretty much, let's leave it at this. After we get past Chuck, the gym leaders aren't a problem. Like, the gym leaders don't, like, pose too much of an issue for me. As his Mamoswine comes out, and we're gonna hit Feint Attack here. Like, and you'll see it with the Claire battle even at the end, that the gym leaders don't pose too much issue. It's just when they surprisingly live. So we're gonna eat this Earthquake like I eat cake, and our next Feint Attack should kill, because he is not in Citrus Berry range, nor is he in range for Price's other healing item. So here, we should be able to bop the Mamo, get it out of here, like, get wrecked, bruh. So, the hail continues, but what is he going to send out next is his Glalie. So, I don't know if Glalie got the rock type added to him in Sacred Gold or not, or if that's his, like, Mega Evolution. I don't remember, but we end up moonlighting here, because, you know, healing is important, but we don't get a lot of healing as much as we usually do because of hail. Now, if it's nighttime, or I think the rain is up, Moonlight does a lot of heal back. I think that's how that works. Can look it up here in just a second. But, and Glalie's gonna end up hitting Blizzard here. So, 3 to 5. Okay, during no weather it restores half. It does 2/3 in harsh sunlight, and other weather it's only a quarter. So in the instance of drought, it does a heal boost, and if it's no weather it's half, and then rain or whatever. But yeah, you get the point. So anyway, we end up getting frozen by this here Glalie. And I'm just like, you fuck. But we get the first turn thaw here. I may have been frozen another turn while I was looking up Moonlight, but either way, with Payback, the Glalie goes down. But the hail is still being a problem for us, which is, you know, fine. But now, she sends out the Dugong, and I just called Price a girl, my bad. Anyway, we're gonna pay back here. This should be rather large damage. We do like 2/3. Again, they're utilizing the Hail Blizzard combo. off of the snow warning, so as long as I don't get frozen again, we're okay. But here we go, hitting another payback. Here I'm kind of hoping like they go for some form of priority move so I can get the double payback boost, but either way, we're killing it. And that's the Dugong down. And then next up, I do believe, is Lapras here. And Lapras, we know, is a chonky boy. So I do believe we're going to end up feint attacking. But now if I would have known ahead of time, I would have put Toxic on sooner. But feint attack by itself does 2/3. So here we know that feint attack is going to pick up kill on the next turn, provided he doesn't freeze me, which as you see he does not. So we're going to take the hail damage, and then we're going to feint attack again, because a crit slash a high roll kills this Lapras immediately. So the Lapras goes down, leaving only his Frostlass left. Remember this because obviously I have the type advantage over Frostlass. So it's going to be pretty much one feint attack and dead. And then, because as you see, he's just going to get absolutely murdered. Then we're going to pick up the dub, our 7th badge, and Price is now defeated. But from the sounds of things, we gotta go clear out a radio tower here. We're gonna actually cut to the end of the radio tower mission, because in Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, they do a kind of a little fun little Easter egg here, which you will see here just momentarily. Give me my badge, boy! Alright, so we get our Glacier badge here, and now it's time to head to the radio tower, and let's just keep it real. The rocket grunts don't give me any sort of issues. We pretty much roll them like they some bitches. Let's just leave it at that. Price gives us his phone number, and now here's that little Easter egg we talked about. At the end of the rocket tower in Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, you fight Giovanni with a full team of 6. So I threw this in here because I thought you guys would like it. So we end up taking on the granddaddy of the rockets, and he leads with a Persian in this particular battle. Now, he uses Fake Out, which is nice and which is actually good. So if he tries to use Fake Out again, it will then be able to trigger the payback boost. So either way, we almost one-shot the Persian. But he's probably going to heal here, which he does using a full restore. But the fact that Drayano had the foresight to put the Giovanni battle here, excellent touch, my guy. Excellent touch. So we end up bringing him down to a sliver again, and then get the feint attack for the win. So the Persian is down. Now, the Kangaskhan comes out. So we end up going with the feint attack here. But we end up doing half with the feint attack there. And then he goes for double edge, putting him down to about 2/3, which we're going to end up picking the kill up with the feint attack again. So the Kang goes down. We're doing well so far. These rockets ain't got shit on me. And now comes out the Nidoking. Because remember, Giovanni, he did used to be a gym leader at some point. So we end up hitting the feint attack. It does 2/3, but Poison Point activates, which is not a good time for us as he hits an Earthquake, but we're going to eat that up. like kids after trick-or-treating. It's like, it's candy time, bruh. So, now, here we're gonna feint attack for the finish. Get this Nidoking out of here. It's like, not here, Nidoking. Nidoking is lovely, but not today. But now he sends out a Rhyperior. I do believe we didn't put Cut onto the moveset yet at this point. So, because now, why I bring up Cut? Cut in Sacred Gold and Storm Silver is a 60 power grass move. As we know, Rhyperior is quad weak to grass, but he has Hammer Arm, which is not doing as well. But feint attack off of a crit, then a Mega Horn, and then we're gonna feint attack again. Almost die off of the next Mega Horn. Like, this Rhyperior is giving us the work. Like, this is probably the most stressful any of the Rockets have been throughout this entire game. Throughout this entire run. Giovanni gave me a little bit of work. But there goes the Hammer Arm again. But that leads it to him not healing. So we are able to get a feint attack kill right here. And getting the Rhyperior out of here so he can't do any more damage to me. Like, ugh. Like, jeez, that man's brutal. But then he sends out the Tauros, which ends up popping Intimidate. Ugh. The Intimidate drop is not really helpful to us at all, given that Umbreon does not have great physical attack to begin with, and then you drop an Intimidate drop on top of that, and it's just like, ugh, gross. But now, we did over half to the Tauros anyway, so the feint attack's gonna probably kill here. And it does. And he did also use Double Edge the previous turn, so we're now at level 86. But now it comes down to Giovanni's last Mon, which is a Nidoqueen. The Nidoqueen is out. And now, I do believe we end up utilizing Feint Attack here. Oh, there's the Protect. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm not even thinking about it. If they go for double, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about if she would have went for Protect again, and the Protect would have failed. That triggers the Payback boost, but she ends up going for Earth Power there. I'm still thinking, okay, come at me with a Protect fail, and I'll be able to take you out. It's like, you gonna get dropped, and you gonna deal with it. But the next Feint Attack, or Payback, I think it was either Paint Attack or Payback. Paint Attack or Payback. Well, go me. I can English. Payback or Feint Attack would have gotten the kill there. But I opted to use the Hyper Potion, because, you know, Nidoqueen kind of be spanking me. And they did get a Spadef drop in there somewhere. But she keeps dropping my Spadef off of the Earth Power. So there's the Protect. It succeeds. Now, we tried to go for the Payback because I tried to predict a Protect fail there. Same thing I did with this turn, unless I probably ran out of Feint Attacks. I don't know. I didn't show the second screen throughout the entire run. So here's an Earth Power. But Nidoqueen's on a sliver. I pretty much have this in the bag at this point. So now we should be able just to smack Nidoqueen for a kill. I don't know what I was debating here, because one move, it's dead. So we end up getting the Payback and the dub on Giovanni. I really like that touch, if we're being completely honest, guys. I really enjoyed being able to battle Giovanni there. So now, after we smack Giovanni, he loses to more children again. It is time to head on to Claire. through the power of clever video editing, we go from Giovanni to clear right away. So here's the first Dragonair. Now, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to brute force it, because, you know, it's dragons. I don't have any ice moves or dragon moves, but that feint attack, without a crit, one-shot the Dragonair. So now we have Water Onix. And the Water Onix gets the Intimidate off, which, again, Intimidate is like one of our worst enemies in this run, given the fact that Umbreon has a poor attack stat. But we still end up doing half. Water Onix ends up hitting Waterfall here. And then we end up tanking it, and now we start utilizing Toxic. Because now with the Intimidate drop, we gotta be a little more strat heavy instead of brute forcing. Because again, the Intimidate ends up kind of hindering us quite a bit. So we end up going for Moonlight here. Get a little bit of healing going on. And then I do believe Water Onix is going to go for Waterfall again. He actually starts Dragon Dancing. I'm just like, no, stop it. But then it also popped into my head, wait, payback. So we end up going payback here, thinking, okay, a +1 speed Gyarados, will it outspeed me? I mean Water Onix, I'm sorry. But we end up defeating Water Onix. Now here comes the Dragonair. Now remember, from the previous Dragonair, we know one feint attack kills. One feint attack is going to just knock it out, unless it's like a low roll, like that one was. And now the Dragonair is using she's locked into Outrage here, which, it's like, send me to the buffet with all these hits. It's like, om nom. Thick Breon out here. Maybe a new Umbreon nickname. But anyway, we end up taking out the Dragonair there. Now she sends out a Salamence. I did not remember. And look at that, a second Intimidate drop. So now we need crits. Okay, we need crits, or for them to go for Dragon Dance. Because if they go for Dragon Dance and to potentially outspeed me, then we can utilize the double damage payback. But he ends up dropping a Draco, but he has a White Herb, which does not do the -2 special attack. So we end up feint attacking here again. And that's gonna do about, bring him down to a third. But then he hits Hydro Pump. I forget that he can learn Hydro Pump too, because, you know, I don't use Salamence much, so I kind of forget what he can learn and what he can't. So we end up getting one more feint attack off, sending the Salamence out of here. So next up is an Altaria. Now, if this is anything like Gen 3 Winona Altaria, oh hey, my buddy Natural hosted. I'll leave his Twitch link in the description for you. But if she's anything like pre-Emerald, like pre-Gen 4 Altaria with Dragon Dance, ouch. But we end up going with the Toxic Stall, because again, we're down 2 Intimidate drops at this point. So there's really no way around not using Toxic Stall. So we end up getting heals off of Moonlight. She's going to Dragon Pulse again. So we'll eat that up like fat kids at a wedding reception. And then we're free to click Feint Attack from here, due to the fact of, hey, we eat hits. It's lunchtime out here with all this damage we're just sponging. So we end up getting good results off of the Toxic. She ends up Hyper Potioning here, but not full restoring. So, with her not having the full restore, puts us in fantastic position, because now the Toxic is just going to keep building and keep building until it eventually becomes her downfall. So we're free to click Moonlight here, get back up to full, and then here's where I get angry. She starts roosting. Doesn't try to take the poison off. As you see, Toxic is starting to build. We end up getting the Feint attack off here. Here, I'm hoping it kills, but the double Intimidate drop is making that kind of impossible. So she roosts again, and then gets hurt by the poisoning, which brings her down back to where my Feint attack initially left her. So now, this Feint attack should pick up the kill, and it does. And now it's the last obstacle of Claire, her fabled Kingdra. One of my Kingdra's actually in my top 10 favorite Pokemon, by the way. I might actually have to do a top 10 favorites video at some point. But the Kingdra gets poisoned, but he now counteracts the 2 Intimidate drops that I received earlier in the battle by using Swagger on me. Little did you know, you played right into my hand. But Swagger does cause confusion. I end up hitting myself, but now I don't have any boosted, I don't have dropped attack now. So ends up hitting Hydro Pump and taking some toxic damage. And what we need to do, ideal, in a perfect world, she sets up a couple of Dragon Dances to outspeed. Because if she outspeeds me, then Payback does Pog damage. Well, Payback did Pog damage right there, but not as much as I would like. So, she ends up Hydro Pumping here, but we know with how much damage that Payback did, we're going to pick up the knockout next turn. Should we not hit ourselves? I love how she already decided she was going to win and be like, bitch, nah, get your cocky ass out of here. Well, we end up hitting ourselves with confusion. He goes for another Hydro Pump and brings us below half, but Toxic keeps on rolling. Now, I am salt here. You just heard me, you just saw me say bitch when my Toxic gets taken off. So I'm gonna have to set up Toxic again. So, and we did manage to break out of confusion though. So, the confusion's gone. But now she just boosted my attack by 2. This Kingdra is giving me 4 attack boosts to counteract 2 of her own Intimidates. And now I have +2 attack. So we full heal, because remember, full heal gets rid of confusion also. People tend to forget that little fact. So, using that to our advantage, we're going to eat a Hydro Pump, because, bitch, I'm thirsty. Give me that water. We hydrating out here. I think I ran out of Feint attacks, so we used Payback. With a +2. Get out of here, Kingdra. Rip you. And Claire is defeated. So now we go and get our badge because, you know, Claire's a whiner and doesn't like to give the badge right away. And now, in what they force us to do, I'm just going to Master Ball Ho-Oh. And now it's on to Will. We jump cut to the Elite Four here. This is actually our winning run through the Elite Four. So as you see, we just body Will. Will is literally a pushover. But until I ended up getting Psychic, as you will notice, Bruno beat the shit out of me like 20 times. I think it was 20. No, probably less than that. But Bruno beat the absolute fuck out of me until I got Psychic put on to Umbreon. Which, by the way, in Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, Psychic is in Ruins of Alph. I did not know this. My buddy Straight Up Sean told me in chat, which, by the way, his link will be down below as well. Putting Psychic on Umbreon makes both Koga and Bruno pushovers. Like, get up out of here, you suck. So, Muck ends up going with a Focus Punch here, but literally, Koga and Bruno become absolute wastes of time, and they just get rot. Now, I could have gotten this if I would have got Psychic sooner. And as you see now, Karen gave me the most issue out of all the Elite Four. But if I would have got Psychic sooner, I would not have had to been almost level 100 to beat the Elite Four the first time. So, we're gonna end up having a little, like, status condition battle. She did use Attract, but we broke through with that. Now, we have to utilize a lot of Toxic Stall here. Because, you know, other Dark types. Ugh. At least Dark is neutral on Spiritomb because he is half Ghost. But we have Cut here also. Cut was my main thing for Will's Slowbro. And I needed more power points because I was running out of PP by the time I'd finished the Elite Four. And then Lance would just destroy me because I have no moves left. But outside of, you know, Karen gave me a hard time most of all the Elite Four battles up until this run, obviously. But here I got scared because that is a +2 Houndoom. That Houndoom has +2 special attack now. But then the stall battle. Umbreon versus Umbreon. Now, it's using double team. Now, it's got 2 double teams up, but we're okay there. Here's where our stats are looking like as we go into the Lance fight. Almost level 100. Well, we have more physical defense than we do special. So we use a Cut on Water Onyx. We use Cut again. We just used Cut on Water Onyx to save on our Paybacks and Psychics, and I think Feint Attack as well. No, I think I actually replaced Payback with Psychic, if I recall. So we need to have a little, like, nice little heal off. So Charizard ends up hitting a Flare Blitz here, which is gonna do a bit of damage. Not so much eating it up, but we do have the Toxic on him, so we should be able to. What? I should have just went and hit Feint Attack at this point. But I know for sure that at this point I'm out of Psychic, and I kind of have to Toxic Stall the Charizard because Cut's not going to do much to him. It's just a thing. That's just how Cut works. With it being a now 60 power grass move in this battle. So the Charizard ends up going down. So now we have the first Dragonite. Oh hey, this Dragonite's legal, chat. So we're gonna Toxic Stall. Because again, I don't really have much of an option. So here he's going to just bring down his special attack. Even though Dragonite is mostly known for being a physical attacker, but Lance is a goof, he's a cheater anyway. That's just kind of how he does things. So we end up using Cut, and that's literally doing nothing. He's going to lower his special attack down by 2 more. Because I'm thinking chip damage here, because the more he keeps lowering his special attack, the better things go for me. So here we're gonna pop full restore. I'm under the impression right now in watching this back, I think I might have been out of power points. So he missed the blizzard. And then we are going to, we're using an item apparently. What item were we trying to use? Oh, I think I was looking for PP restoration. Because all I have at this point left is Cut. Cut and Toxic and maybe Moonlight. But I'm out of Psychics due to the Koga and Bruno fight. Because let's face it. Psychic, for the most part, runs through the entirety of Koga and Bruno's team. So we're here heal stalling because we don't really have much of an option. We kind of have to. So our Toxic stall takes out the Dragonite. And then the next of the 3 Dragonites comes out. And this is the big boy Dragonite at level 60. So we actually miss Toxic, but he locks into Outrage, gets a crit, takes us to just before half. But now, with him being locked into Outrage, this does not put us at a good spot. He's now confused and poisoned, so I'm going here with Cut for chip damage. Gonna chip in while I can. And then Outrage again. I need him to actually hit himself, which obviously he doesn't end up doing at this point in time. So he ends up healing off of his Citrus Berry. I spaced out for a second, my bad, dudes. So he ends up staying confused, hits himself, which, yes, I need that. I need him to hurt himself. Just because we do not have a lot of PowerPoint usage to work with. So here we're gonna potion up. I think I might have ran out of full restores. But then Lance is gonna full restore himself. Thusly, now we have to reset up the Toxic stall, which is not a good time. So we reset up Toxic stall. And he's gonna go lock into Outrage again. Alright. He's locked into Outrage now. Again. And he's roosting. Lovely. So here I'm in the conundrum of I don't have Pokeball. I don't have any healing items, so I'm just going to start chucking Pokeballs at him. Just to item stall. Because I can't touch him. Because now that he's roosting, I gotta just yeet balls at him to get the Toxic stall to go. I probably should have just kept attacking, but I didn't want to due to the fact of I have nothing to hit back with. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm out of cuts at that particular juncture, but he just keeps roosting now. But the Toxic finally takes him out. He goes into a Garchomp. Now we have to utilize Struggle. It turns out I had full restores. It was actually suggested to me, now that I remember it, to Pokeball stall just to get the Toxic off, and then be at full health going into the Garchomp because I'm gonna have to utilize Struggle. Like, Struggle is the only way I win at this point. So I gotta heal, struggle, heal, struggle, heal, struggle. Ugh. It's a vicious cycle of what we had to do to get this win. But after a little bit of struggle later, And then a couple of heals and more struggling. We're finally gonna get past the Garchomp, just utilizing struggle. But he doesn't die off that one. He does die off that one, and we have the Aerodactyl left. Now, he's put us into Torment, which Torment doesn't work when you only have struggle. Because as you know, Torment only allows you to... You can't use the same move twice in a row off of the Torment. So, because the fact that we're struggling blocks Torment, and now, I think one more struggle later, we become the champion. And that is where we're going to leave part 3 for now. Because in part 3, we're going to cover the Johto gym leader, or the Kanto gym leaders, I'm sorry. So with that being said, I'll see you next time. Good day, goodbye, and goodbye.